Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, using Gilded Tarot Royale by Chiro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. On the bottom here is the website, llewellyn.com, and a couple other social media links. Feel free to freeze frame on that if you need a second to gather that information, if you want to, obviously. Supportive Oracle Cards, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle Cards by Colette Baron Reed. There are some websites on the back here, of course, just freeze frame and check out whatever you want to if you're interested. Also, there's the Colette website on the back of her book. At the end of the paragraph next to her picture, you can find her website. There's a couple other things there if you're interested, of course. Freeze frame on that if you need to. And last but not least, about the illustrator Jenna. A freeze frame on whatever you need to for that. If you want to read that information, hopefully I get it all in frame. If you're interested, of course. Okay, Capricorn. When I was shuffling, I kept getting like Capricorn only shows up if they want to. Like if you show up, you decided you wanted to for whatever reason you decided you wanted to, and I kept getting that. So I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but whatever it is we're talking about, they're like, if you showed up because you literally decided you wanted to. If you didn't want to, you wouldn't have shown up. Which could also add in to the point, like, there was a reason. Like, for example, you may have a job that you really don't care for. You show up because you want that paycheck, or you show up for whatever reason you feel you need to show up. If you're going to show up, you show up because you want to show up. And I keep getting that, like, over and over. You show up because you want to show up. So that's coloring the whole thing. So whatever's going on here, you've decided you want to be a part of this. Now, this may be obnoxious, and I apologize for this. Part of this might also add in to, like, originally you started whatever this is, and you felt a lot better about it, but it might be something you got yourself involved with, you committed to it, and when you first committed to it, you thought it would be better or feel better than it actually does. Capricorn, if they're going to be involved, I don't know why I'm, okay. If you're going to be involved, you're going to get something out of it. You don't waste your time. Earth signs don't anyway, but especially Capricorn, like, if somebody tries to steal the value of a situation, you're not going to play nice about that. You're like, no. I didn't make this trip here just to, like, hang out and smile. No. I came here for a reason. I came to get something out of this, and I will. I just feel like Capricorn doesn't have any patience for that BS. Not at all. So, whatever this is, I feel like you've been working diligently to get the value you were looking for out of it. I also get this with Capricorn in the sense of, like, it's not just monetary value that Capricorn works towards. If there's a relationship value or there's something else where you're trying to create a bond with something or someone, you'll work very hard to make that bond what you want it to be. The only reason you would abandon that is where somebody else has betrayed or shown who they are in a way like, I didn't see them that way before, but now I'm seeing them for who they really are. Then you might change direction because it's kind of like, well, the value I saw was apparently a fake or something like that. It's kind of like if you invested in a painting and then you find out years down the road that painting was a fake. You may abandon it realizing it's a fake, but then again, that's going to create its own schism. So where are we going with this? Okay, so you're not upset about it, but with people, for some of you, I feel like this is going to be people. It could be a job, it could be something financial and tangible like that. I keep getting like a people connection because I'm getting the Three of Swords reversed and the Magician reversed. You may have found out who somebody really was during this process. Okay. So I want to be careful with this because I'm getting a separation here. It could be somebody that you are in a long-term relationship with. Doesn't have to be romantic. Could be a friendship. People, maybe I should be careful how I'm moving this forward. Sometimes people do change. Sometimes. I feel like it's rare. And not in the sense of like how they, what things they like, but like how they treat people. Not everybody seems to be able to do this, but there are certain, I've seen it happen where they're just kind of middle of the road and they just get like, they just turn a leaf and they get really good. It's rare. It also goes the other way too. They're just kind of middle of the road and they just, I don't know. It seems rare to me that happens, but I will acknowledge that I've seen that play out. Somebody might have shown their true colors. And there might be like might have like changed your whole outlook on your connection with them. The Three of Swords reversed though is telling me you might have seen little hints that this was a possibility, and you might have protected yourself so that you wouldn't get completely devastated. You might be at that point where you're kind of like accepting them for who they are, and you're naturally protecting yourself from it. I understand that this is going a really good direction, but this is an interesting card. It's a good card. For Capricorn, it can be one of those moments, though, that it's like completely opposite of what you're looking for. It's kind of like, when I see this, it's like I'm not going to dedicate or hold on to something that's not respectful to me. I feel like Capricorn, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Capricorn is good at this. There's only a certain amount of bull crap. I'm trying not to swear. I don't know if that's really... Anyway, there's only a certain amount you're going to tolerate. And once it feels like you're not being respected, there's just going to be this line, and it's like once it's crossed, it's crossed. Then it's crossed, and that's that. You couldn't go back if you wanted to. I don't know. I feel like if I'm right, you'll let me know. There's this... I feel like Capricorn, yeah, I understand that you could take a little bit of BS to a point, but then there's this line. It's like it's not a tangible thing, but once it's crossed, that's it. And you couldn't go back from it if you wanted to. I just feel like just when it's crossed, it's crossed. That's that. And I get like there's this energy coming in like I'm not going to be a foolishly loyal person. I'm not going to be loyal to somebody's crap. I'm not going to do that. Once I've been disrespected to a certain level, and it's not like, I don't know, it's not tangible. It's just like just something clicks inside and you're like, oh no, now we've gone too far. Now I see you for what you are. We're done. And I feel like people don't realize that, like, this could be a spouse, this could be a parent, a sibling, this could be even a child of respectable age. But, like, they cross that line and you're like, no, I see you, and now I don't trust you, and I will never trust you again. And once the trust is gone, it gets, it's something else. Because I feel like that moment's going to be triggered here. That moment is going to be triggered, and you're not going to put up with it. This is a great card in the sense of self-loyalty. I've heard this before. I feel this is completely true. If you can't be loyal to yourself, you can't be loyal to anybody else. And when somebody steps a little too far, that self-loyalty is going to be like, oh no, I don't let people talk to me that way. I don't let people treat me that way. I don't let people do that to me. And now that you've crossed that line, my loyalty to me has to be the strongest. Your loyalty to yourself has to be the strongest. If you can't be loyal to yourself, you can't be loyal to anybody else. I could give you a really simple analogy. It's kind of like if you're going to somebody's house, and for example, like I can't eat liver. It's just gross. It's really gross. It's just my throat closes. I can't explain it. But anyway, I can't try to choke down a meal like liver and act like it was good if it wasn't. I can be respectful and be like, I just don't eat that. Thank you for preparing it, and I appreciate that you tried, but like, I'm sure it's good for people who like liver. I just don't care for it. And just being loyal to myself, like I'm not going to eat that just because I'm a guest at your house. Thank you. I'll eat other things, and thank you for preparing these other things, but I am that one. Some people think that's rude. I don't think it's rude. I think it's self-loyalty, especially if I told people ahead of time. Like, I can be picky. So, I also think it's rude for people if they're inviting you to their house and they know you don't like something, they purposely make it to try to make you eat it. I think that's rude in itself. I'm just saying. But anyway, I don't know why I got on that horse, but let's get right off of it and move on. Whatever this is, the Three of Swords reverse is like, I'm not happy, but I'm not devastated. I'm not happy, but I'm not heartbroken. The line has been crossed. I feel like you've been preparing yourself for this moment. It just randomly came forward is what I'm getting with the Temperance. Temperance can be random, but Temperance also has this like building energy. Like they just keep doing, they just keep doing, they just keep doing. Also, not a bad card. There's nothing wrong with this card. Sometimes talks about Sagittarius energy. Doesn't mean you're dealing with a Sagittarius, but this is something that like it just keeps doing and doing and doing and doing. And I feel like this is something that's been coming, and just finally that final line has been crossed. Ironically, I do not feel you being devastated over this. I see you kind of like, all right, I'm holding the line, and I'm like, it's like message received. I kind of knew that this might happen. It looked like it was going to happen. The moment has happened. And now that it has, I feel free. And I am now changing my connection with this. For a lot of you, I feel like it's a person. This moment has happened. Excuse me. You saw it coming. It's not. It doesn't feel good, but it's kind of like at the same time, it's liberating. My self-loyalty, like if Capricorn self-loyalty, trumps this situation. I kind of wanted to release this burden. I just didn't really feel like that was the right thing to do. But now that this line has been crossed, I feel like it's time to release this burden and stop putting up with stuff and start moving in a direction that actually makes me happy. It's not going to happen in 5 seconds. There will be an internal struggle moving forward. Internal struggle for you. It's your private thing. You talk about it with whoever you decide you will or won't, whatever is right for you. But the process has started. I do see you kind of giving yourself a hard time about doing that. But I also see like that one spot always coming back. Like, you know what? It's not like it was the first time. That last time was the last time. You do seem to be struggling a little bit to get out of it. Is there a way that can be easier for you? Or is that just how it's going to be for you? Because you have to do what's right for you. You process things the way you process things. The Moon card, half in, half out. The Six of Swords. I feel like because you're letting go of it, you are giving yourself a little bit of a hard time about it, but you are also letting go of it. It's more internal. It's like you processing it. It's more you untying connections. It's more you releasing it and getting closure on your terms. Something about the way you give yourself a hard time, as long as that's going in the direction of letting go, I feel like it gets less and less burdensome. I'm not saying that word right. It gets easier the farther you go. Let's just say it that way. And as you're walking away, you're creating a new path to something else. You're getting some really good cards. You got something new coming in. This is a really good card. You are seeming to go, it's like you're going to go into a period of time where things are going to be really good for you due to your own creation. You're feeling more free. You're feeling more like you've accepted things that are going to be lost here. I feel like that's another part where that you're making peace with it. There is some loss here. Are you a fan of loss? Obviously not. But you're making peace with it. Like for what it was, I learned what I learned. I have to let go. By letting go, I get true happiness. It's definitely an advanced Capricorn energy. Like kind of like just because I own that house doesn't mean I'm going to sit in it when it's like infested with whatever. It's infested with vermin. The electrical doesn't work. I can't get the money to fix it. It's like I'm accepting the loss because I'm like, if I accept the loss, it can go, and I can get rid of the land however I need to, and then I can start building something with more stability. It's like I'm accepting the loss, not because I want to, but because it got so bad. It's like I can just sit in that house and just basically degrade myself along with it, or I can step out of it, accept that it's a loss, and build something new. it's definitely an advanced Capricorn energy, because that's hard for Capricorn. That is not an easy thing, but this is on your terms. This is why you're going to have a struggle letting go of it. Like, looking back and accepting that, kind of like, the longer I sit in it, the longer I stand in it, the longer I keep trying to fix it, the more I just get sucked down deeper and deeper. And it's not like you haven't tried. You've done everything you could think of, and now it's like, I have to let it go. I have to accept. And I've hit that moment that I have to accept. Well, I don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything, clearly. But it's kind of like your self-loyalty is like, this isn't serving me anymore. And it's just going to drag me down further. I need to detach and move on so I can truly have value in my life. Whatever is going on with the actual, if it's a person or if it is a situation, but I feel like for a lot of you it's a person, there's no advancement there. There's random energy. Sometimes this card, the Fire Prince, talks about Sagittarius for me. I'm an intuitive reader though, so I don't know if it's supposed to, but that's how it feels for me. That fire energy, that younger, optimistic, but it's not going anywhere. When it comes to you, it doesn't go anywhere. It just doesn't match you. And you're going to see that energy is not, even when you step away, it still doesn't, it just keeps doing whatever it was doing. And it might be doing it with, if it's a person, it's doing it with somebody else now. And it's kind of good. I hope they like that, because it's not for me. You're not going to see any advancement as you keep moving away from it. I do see like some type of check-in or some like of like looking back or like looking and seeing what's going on with. So if it's a person, you're checking and maybe getting information, and you're seeing like nothing, literally nothing has changed. The further you get away from it, it's the same. And it's kind of like the further you get away from it, the better you feel. Kind of like, I was over there, and if I hadn't made the change I did at the time, I'd still be over there. Now that I made that change and it's a ways behind me, I can see how much happier I am now and how much better life is not being a part of that situation anymore or around that person anymore. True to form, if that makes sense, you're going to work towards getting what you actually want. If it's a person situation, whether it be romantic, friendship, coworker, whatever it may be, or if it's something else tangible, whatever it is, you're building yourself into a new situation. You are definitely a person who has learned from the red flags that maybe you allowed the first time around. We all have things. I feel like everybody does this. We grow up, or we get older, or as we go through life, however you want to put it, there's red flags that show up in front of us, and we're like, oh, that's a pretty shade, and we're like, yeah, I could dance with that color, not realizing it's a red flag. Like, it's just like, oh, no, that's a red dress, or no, that's a red tuxedo, or no, that's a red... No, it's fun. It's a festive thing. And then we get down the road, and we're like, nope, that was bad. Nope, I thought that was... No, that was bad. We learn from these things. At the time when the flags first showed up, we didn't think of it as red. We just thought it was like, oh, it was fun. Or, oh, we can deal with that. Or, oh, that'll get better. How many of us have hit that one? We're like, oh, it'll get better over time. Or it's just like that. And once the edge comes off, it'll be fine. Anyway, I feel like a lot of us do that too. You've learned from these red flags. Those red flags show up again. You're not going to have it. You're just like, no, I saw that before. I thought that was okay. Clearly it wasn't. I'm not doing that again. You have learned from the red flags. You're not going to let those red flags repeat. Just keep that in mind. I'm a big Paul McKenna fan. Probably mentioned this in other videos. A Paul McKenna dork. I really am, because I think he's awesome. It's just the one I clicked in. I'm sure there's other gurus out there. The book I'm thinking of is How to Mend Your Broken Heart. You can use it for any type of situation. I've used it for all different types of relationships. I highly recommend checking out that book, using the exercises. I believe you have to do them in order to get the optimal response from them, but you might be surprised how much that helps you identify red flags even more quickly, and it helps you have confidence that you're not going to repeat those red flags and maybe see other things that you weren't seeing before with other people. Because usually when we put up with red flags, it's not typically just one type of relationship. Usually we're repeating those same acceptable behaviors that aren't acceptable. Like, we're accepting red flags that we shouldn't be in many different forms. It's just that book might help you identify in other relationships where you're already still, or maybe they're already showing up in different places. You just aren't seeing them the same way because the relationships aren't as intense, if that makes sense. So you might want to check that out if you're interested. Things are going to go definitely a lot better. It's going to be a process. It's going to take some time. But I'm also getting the Sun card here, it's kind of like a vote of confidence. Like, you are really doing very well. You're putting in the effort. It's not that you wouldn't. Like, clearly Capricorn puts in the effort. This is effort that's actually showing you a return that's much better than you probably expected. You might be or might have been in a situation where you just kind of accepted something and felt like you had to accept something, and now you're learning that no, never did I have to accept that, and now I'm not going to ever accept it again. So you're moving forward in a very positive way for that reason. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.